You think you've been chosen for something glorious. The silk they wrap you in is softer than anything you've ever touched. The perfume they dust over your skin smells like jasmine and honey. You are only 16, maybe younger. Your mother doesn't meet your eyes. As they take you away, your father stands stiff, proud, pretending this is an honor. The servants tell you that you've been selected by the emperor himself, that you'll live in a golden palace, that your life will be filled with luxury, beauties, and power. But they don't tell you the truth, that this is not a dream. This is a cage, and you are not a queen. You are property in the grand palaces of China, Persia, India, and the Ottoman Empire. Kings ruled over empires and over women. Concubines were not wives, they were not servants. They existed in a strange, deadly limbo, high enough to live in the palace, but too low to be respected. You were one of many, sometimes one of hundreds. In the forbidden city of China, Emperor Qianlong had over 100 concubines. The Ottoman sultans often kept entire harems with hundreds of women, guarded by eunuchs. Mughal emperors like Akbar and Shah Jahan maintained secret chambers of women, unseen by the world. Your job? To be available, to be beautiful, to compete for attention, and maybe, if you were lucky, to bear a royal son. But even that came with a cost. The palace looks like a paradise. Red lacquered doors, golden dragons on every pillar, long silk robes, music, incense, jewels. But you are not free to leave, not even to walk. Outside the harem walls, in China's forbidden city, the imperial concubines were never allowed to leave once chosen, not for a visit, not for a funeral, not even if their own mother died. In the Ottoman Empire, you are guarded by eunuchs, men who have been castrated so they can never threaten the royal bloodline. Their eyes are everywhere. Their loyalty is only to the sultan, and the other women, they smile, but their smiles are knives. This isn't a sisterhood, it's a battlefield, and every concubine is your enemy, because only one of you can rise. One night, the emperor smiles at you. He selects you over the others. You are summoned to his bed. You bathe for hours in rose water, trembling with fear and hope. The eunuchs escort you like a ghost, wrapped in silence. The royal hall stretches endlessly. That night, you are seen. You matter. The next morning, your status has changed. You are favored now. The other women bow. Servants rush to please you. But the danger has just begun. The jealousy is venom. Poison in your tea. Rumors that you have a disease. Someone hides a bloody cloth under your mattress, hoping to frame you for witchcraft. Someone else whispers that you're pregnant, a lie that could get you executed if untrue. This is not love, it's survival. And every day you wake up, wondering if this is the day. Your luck runs out. Time is your greatest enemy. At 25, you're considered old. Your face no longer glows with youth. The emperor's eyes begin to wander. A younger girl from the countryside catches his attention, just like you once did. You smile and greet her kindly, but inside, you feel the cold blade of her beauty. Soon, the summons stop coming. You are moved to a smaller chamber. Servants no longer bow. No one dares speak your name. In China, aging concubines were sometimes sent to the palace of forgotten women, a real place, a lonely corner of the forbidden city, where unwanted concubines lived in silence until they died, nameless, buried in unmarked graves. You are not a wife. You are not a mother. You are not a queen. You are a ghost. Maybe you got lucky. Maybe you gave birth to a son, the emperor's child. For a moment, your life changes. You are now the mother of a prince. But now, everyone wants you dead, because your son is a threat to the empress, to the other princes, to the power-hungry ministers. In the Ottoman Empire, princes were often strangled by their own brothers to prevent civil war, and the concubines who bore them, locked away, or worse, silenced. In ancient China, some concubines were forced to commit suicide after giving birth to powerful sons, just to keep court politics clean. You thought giving life would give you purpose, but in this palace, even motherhood can be a death sentence. History rarely remembers your name, but sometimes the screams echo loud enough to survive the centuries. Consort Zhen of the Qing dynasty was a favorite of Emperor Guangxu. She was bold, artistic, outspoken, and hated by the Empress Dowager Cixi. When the court was collapsing during the Boxer Rebellion, Empress Cixi gave a quiet order: throw her into the well. She was only 24 years old. Her body was never recovered. Or consider the Ottoman concubine Roxelana, kidnapped from Ukraine, rose to power through wit and seduction, became legal wife of Suleiman the Magnificent. But the path she walked was soaked in blood. She had rivals executed, manipulated succession wars, and lived in constant fear. Even those who won never truly lived. You begin to forget your real name. Everyone calls you by a number, a title, or simply her. Your old memories of your village, your family, the sound of your mother's voice fade like dust. You learn to walk without making sound, to eat without speaking, to smile without feeling. Every time you hear footsteps outside your chamber, your breath catches. Is it a servant, a guard, a rival? Or is it someone who has come to end your story? You learn that silence is safety, that beauty is a curse, that being chosen by the king is just the beginning of your erasure. Some tried to escape. One concubine in ancient China, dressed as a eunuch, made it out of the palace walls, only to be caught, tortured, and executed. Others begged for mercy from the empress, from the emperor, from the gods. But the palace is not a place of mercy. There is no window to jump from, no exit door, no audience with the king to plead your case. You are not a person. You are a possession, an ornament for display, a vessel for a dynasty. They told you being a concubine was an honor, that you would be cherished, protected, adored. They didn't tell you about the fear, the loneliness, the way your name would vanish from records, while kings and emperors would be remembered for centuries. You were real. You felt love. You cried. You dreamed. But history only remembers the man on the throne, not the hundreds of women whose lives he broke. So why did it suck to be a concubine? Because behind the golden walls there was no glory. Because even in the finest silks, you were never free. Because you were born a woman, in a world that saw women as tools of power, not human beings. The next time someone says, a concubine lived in luxury, remember this: she lived in fear. She died in silence. And no one even remembered to write her name. If this story moved you, don't let her be forgotten. Like, share, and subscribe for more untold truths from history's darkest corners.